If you're the type of person who has stared at a tiny grill countertop and thought, there has to be a better way to feed a crowd without turning my patio into a fire hazard, then you're in the right place. I'm not here to hype a number of burners or flash a headline BTU rating. I'm here to help you decide whether this particular island grill actually fits into the flow of your backyard routine, your budget, and your cooking style. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon, and I'll walk you through the kind of real-world scenarios where a 5-burner, semi-portable grill either shines or feels like an unnecessary complication. First off, let's talk about the basic problem most people face when they upgrade from a single burner or a small tabletop grill. You've probably bought a second grill because you wanted more cooking surface, but what you end up with is a contraption that takes up a lot of space, needs an extra propane tank, and still leaves you juggling tools just to keep the heat even. The Tytus Fresno 5-burner island model promises a massive 864 square inches of cooking area, a dedicated side burner, and storage cabinets that claim to keep all your tools tucked away. On paper that sounds like the answer to the "I need more grill real estate" dilemma, but the question is whether those promises translate into a usable kitchen outside hybrid. The first thing I noticed when I dug into the product specs is the snap-together, no-tool assembly claim. In practice, that actually matters if you've ever tried to assemble a large grill and ended up with a pile of bolts, a wrench, and a half-finished piece of metal that looks like a science project. The Fresno's components click into place without a screwdriver, which means you can have the whole unit standing up in under an hour by yourself. That's a real time saver if you're an enthusiast who likes to move the grill around for a weekend barbecue or to a second patio for a poolside party. The downside, though, is that the same quick connect system can feel a bit flimsy once it's fully assembled. Some owners have reported that the joint points can loosen after a few months of frequent disassembly. If you intend to keep the grill stationary for years, you might want to double-check the tightness of those connections after the first few uses. Now, the cooking surface itself is where the Fresno tries to earn its keep. With 864 square inches, you essentially have room for 3 standard-sized burgers, a whole rack of ribs, a tray of veggies, and still have space left for a small pizza. The porcelain grates are marketed as premium material for even heat and durability. In real life, porcelain coating does a decent job of preventing rust, which is a relief if you live in a humid climate or near the coast. The heat distribution is fairly even across the main burners, which are split into 3 zones. That means you can set up a searing zone on one side, a low and slow zone on another, and still have a middle area for regular grilling. For families that love to mix grilled chicken thighs with a side of corn on the cob, that flexibility can reduce the need to shuffle pans or use separate accessories. The side burner, rated at 12,000 BTU, is another practical element. Many people buy a separate portable stove to boil water for sauces or to keep a pot of beans warm while the meat cooks. With the Fresno, you have that capability built right into the frame. I tested it by simmering a pot of barbecue sauce while the main grill handled a slab of pork ribs. The side burner held a steady simmer without flickering, which is a subtle but valuable convenience, especially for those who host larger gatherings and don't want to juggle multiple propane tanks. Speaking of tanks, the Fresno is a dual-fuel unit. It runs on propane out of the box, but it's also natural gas convertible. If you have a permanent gas line in your backyard, you can switch to natural gas with a simple conversion kit that's sold separately. The advantage here is cost savings over the long term. Natural gas runs cheaper per BTU than propane. However, the conversion kit itself adds an extra expense, and the process of swapping out the regulator isn't something a casual griller wants to deal with every season. If you already have a natural gas line installed, the Fresno becomes a very logical choice. If not, you'll be sticking with propane and should consider the ongoing refill cost as part of the total ownership price. Storage cabinets are a small but often overlooked feature. The Fresno includes 2 cabinets, one under the main cooking area and another beneath the side burner. In my own experience, the larger cabinet proved handy for stashing a set of tongs, a meat thermometer, and a small spice rack. The smaller one was perfect for a roll of aluminum foil and a couple of spice bottles. The cabinets are sealed with magnetic catches, which keep them fairly secure in windy conditions but still allow quick access.